How many theaters are there in GTA 5? Well, most players would probably say that there's only 3, because only 3 theaters are actually enterable and usable. However, there's a total of 17 theaters, and today we're going to rank every single one for day 8 of Rankmas. Now, another really interesting fact about the theaters in GTA 5 is the fact that every single theater in the game, with the exception of one, is based on a theater in real life. Starting off with the worst theater, the Dionysia Theater is located in Del Perro, and has a very standard exterior design, which isn't very helpful for this ranking. The strongest point about this theater is how large the building itself is, and how many theaters it may hold inside. And it's based on the real-life Citron Theater. In 16th place is the Los Santos Theater, located in Textile City just northeast of Legion Square. Surprisingly, this theater is based on the Los Angeles Theater in the Broadway district. However, given its limited size and parking, this theater just wasn't able to do much better than it did. The Cine Areola Theater is based on the Ritz Theater on Hollywood Boulevard. The theater itself has a great location, though there's a lot of competition here. And to be honest, there's better places to watch movies on this block alone. Foxy Theater is based on Roxy Theater, which again follows the theme of keeping similar names. Foxy Theater has a much more prevalent design, though again its location in Textile City does add a fair amount of competition to its roster. Heading all the way up to North Yankton, many players may not have realized that there's actually a theater here, mostly due to the fact that we don't even drive near it or pass it in any of the missions. The Pollock Cinema mostly struggles due to its location, though it has very little competition, being the only theater in the county. This one is based on the Fargo Theater in North Dakota. The only movie theater that isn't based on one in real life specifically is your personal movie theater in your casino penthouse. Movie theaters are known for being very expensive. From the admission and ticket costs to the food, everything is just severely overpriced. However, purchasing your own in your casino penthouse is much more expensive, costing $600,000 for the theater, plus the added cost of buying a penthouse and the lounge that gains you access to the theater. That'll cost you nearly $2.5 million. Heading back to Del Perro, the Astro Cinema is right across the street from Dionysia, and is a much cleaner option, being about the same size with a better exterior design. This theater was modeled after the AMC Theater in Santa Monica, and they really nailed this one. In 10th place, the Valdez Theater might be one of the tallest theaters in the game, though that doesn't mean the theaters themselves are very high up in the building. Similar to the real-life counterpart of the Wilton Theater, the building itself is almost a separate entity from the theater entirely. Also scoring in this mid-level range, the Beacon Theater does benefit from having good advertising, a decent size, and a wonderful design, making it very recognizable as a theater. If you want to visit this one in real life, you can stop at the Vision Theater in Lambert Park. Now, I know that it isn't much, but surprisingly, I do actually have a small amount of merch over on Redbubble. However, I am hoping to get a bit more merch going this year, so if you have any ideas, let me know. In the meantime, you can pick up your stickers and such using this QR code or the link in the description. The Dorset Theater is kind of on its own for its location, being located right across the street from one of the hospitals with no other theaters anywhere nearby. This means that there's very little competition, though it has an extremely limited accessibility and limited parking, which is something that the Sabin Theater in Beverly Hills doesn't struggle with quite as much. The Doppler Cinema again has a wonderful location and great advertising for its movies. However, it does also struggle because it's in one of the most theater-populated areas of the entire game, and it's based on the Hollywood Pacific Theater and matches pretty closely. Modeled after the Captain Theater, the Whirligig Theater probably has the best signage of all the theaters in the game, being very eye-catching and colorful. Though, again, its accessibility and parking do struggle, likely due to the fact that it's right across the street from a few other cinemas. The Full Moon Theater is located a few blocks down the road and has a wonderful location, good advertising, and a decent size. However, its design could be a lot better, as it almost looks like it was abandoned, unlike its real-life counterpart in the Key Club of West Hollywood. In 4th place, the Tivoli Theater is one of the few cinemas you can actually watch a movie in. Based on the Fox Bruin Theater, it has a great design, wonderful location, and a good size to it, though it struggles for accessibility and parking. In 3rd place, we head back to Textile City for the 10 Cent Theater, which is what dominates the Los Santos Theater and Foxy Theater for the area. In real life, this theater is called the $1 Million Theater, and it has a parking lot just outside and a wonderful design. It's also one of only 4 enterable theaters in the entire game, giving it a bit more edge in the ranking. In 2nd place, we have the Weasel Morningwood Theater, which has a brilliant design and a massive size to it. This is the best theater that we can't use within the game, and it's based on the Fox Theater in Westwood Village. Which means that the #1 theater in the entire game is the Oriental Theater, which is both usable and a key point in the storyline. It also has a great design, a fantastic location, and it definitely cornered the market in this cinema-heavy neighborhood. This theater is based on the TCL Chinese Theater, which I actually visited last summer while I was in LA for VidCon. Once again, thank you all so much for joining me for day 8 of Rank Miss. We only have 4 days left of this series, so consider subscribing to be notified tomorrow when I rank every single hack in the game.